This video is for the Facebook group Vintage Stereo and Hi-Fi Equipment by request, and I'll see if I can point out what I've done with my audio room to make it work out. So my main system is here. It's an 87-inch television, and those are Swan Diva 6.1 speakers. They were circa 2000, won best mid-priced speaker at CES. And so I got those from an outfit called AV123 at the time. The subwoofer is a 15-inch. It's an MFW15, also from AV123, with a 300-watt internal power amp. Those power amps are known to dynamite. This one it did in fact dynamite, and it has the second iteration of the amplifier and has been stable for 20 years. That's a Sony STR DH790, I think, AV receiver. I'm using the stereo outputs of it for running the front speakers only for music with the subwoofer. And above that is a DVD player, Sony, for running the 7.1 system with television. And above that is a WIM Pro streamer next to a Shit Audio Modi DAC to upgrade the DAC from what's in the WIM Pro. So in this room, which is 17 by 18 or something like that, I put an LVT, luxury vinyl tile something, wooden pseudo wood floor, and it's over concrete. I switched from wall-to-wall carpeting, and I worried that the room was going to be too hot. In fact, the wall-to-wall carpeting was killing the sound, and the room became much more alive with the floor. However, I got a what looks like, an expensive Persian carpet from Ruggables for $300. It's got a pad under it, and I put that between the listening sofa and the front speakers to take the first reflection off the floor out of the equation. So that's part of the deal there. That's why that's there. Moving around the room, you get the door to my office, and then we have a wall hanging. This is from Wayfair, and that is passivating that wall a little bit because the wall opposite is just drywall, is hard. So that keeps me from getting reflections back and forth. Note for the moment that that's toward the door. The second part of that wall, behind the side speakers, which are, those are Swan Diva 4.1s. That's sort of the baby brother of the bigger 6.1s in the front. So those are my side channels. This wall is blank. That's an original oil painting. But for the most part, this wall is drywall. Let me walk around the room here a little bit and get to the other side so I can look the other way. Continuing around the room, we have all the way across the back wall a set of bookshelves. This is not the main library in the house. This is my science fiction collection, my computer books, my railroad books, and some tchotchkes that I've picked up during life, little souvenirs and such. Those are Swan Diva R3 rear channel speakers up in the bookcases and above the listening position. The listening position, I'll just mention, let me get to this first. So moving around the room the rest of the way. Now I have another wall hanging, again from Wayfair. These are not printed on linen, they're actually woven. And that passivates the back portion of the left side wall, which is opposite the drywall portion of the right side wall. Another 4.1 side speaker, and now we have the front of the left wall, the forward portion, and that is drywall. That's opposite tapestry on the other side. So each portion of hard wall has a tapestry opposite, and the front wall has a bookcase opposite, which has a lot of variation in absorption and variation in how deep the books are in the bookcase and that sort of thing, so it doesn't form a reflecting surface. Then you have the door to my workshop and the doors into the basement hallway. So we're back around to the TV. I'll take one moment here to note my listening position. This is a very comfy couch. The two end pieces are recliners. The two end positions are for the missus and I when we watch television. She has her blanket there, and I have a little tray between for drinks, and there's the TV controllers and such. And so the side positions are for watching television together. The center position is my listening position when I'm seriously listening to music by myself, and that's my sweet spot. Okay, one more thing going around here. I'll go back to the speakers. Note that the front speakers are pulled out from the wall. They're quite a bit out from the wall. 1.5 feet to the back of the speakers, I believe. And the other thing is they're rotated actually past my sweet spot. If I stand here and I look at where that speaker is oriented, it's aimed at the right speaker is aimed at the left sofa listening position, and the left speaker is aimed at the right sofa listening position. So from the center position here, the speakers are actually aimed across me in front of me. So they cross, the sound paths cross each other in front of me. I find that does the best job of filling in the soundstage for these speakers in this room. And also makes the sweet spot wider so that when we're listening to things together, we're not completely off the mark. The speakers also have, if you look really close, you can see that they have little feet, little pads, little cups, furniture cups under the front feet, which tip them back about 5 degrees, which lifts the center of the soundstage up so that speakers don't all seem to be, David Bowie is taller than Peter Dinklage, just saying. So it lifts the sound up so that it seems like it's somebody who's the correct height. And that's my setup. One other thing I'll note, I told the Sony that the front speakers were small. If you say the front speakers are large, the Sony will not give you a crossover frequency for the subwoofer. It will set a low crossover frequency. I told the Sony instead that all the speakers in the room were small, and that allowed me to set the crossover frequency. Since the Swan Diva 6.1s are flat plus 0 minus 3 dB from 70 hertz to 20 kilohertz, I decided that what I would do is set the crossover frequency to the MFW 15 subwoofer at 80 hertz. And that keeps me out of the range where the Swan Divas the amplitude starts to bump a little bit due to the ported design and such. And so that really has worked out, and the effect is astounding. One more speaker here in the center, that's again a Swan Diva C3, which is the center channel speaker. All of the speakers are the same vintage. They're all circa 2000. And that means they were all voiced to work together, so you don't have the side speakers having different voicing, for instance, than the front speakers. So that's what I did with my room. It has worked out really well. The sound is outstanding. And a lot of it is just making sure that the room isn't impairing. You do want the ambiance of the room. One of the things the wall-to-wall carpeting did was kill the ambiance of the room. And that takes a lot out of the music. You do want ambience in the room. What you don't want is resonances. And so I've arranged that there be absorbing material opposite reflecting material around the room so that I don't get standing resonances anywhere in the room. So that's it. And thanks for listening. Bye-bye.